Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Look at this. I don't know if I should show you my place. Look at this. This was literally like 30 maybe an hour ago. Look at this. I didn't throw it on the floor, you know? Um yeah. No monkeying around Monday. But I've heard there ain't no business like monkey business. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so hello. That got me through 30 seconds. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I always say that because I always laugh because it's like um anyway, so how was my day? Well, my day was pretty good. Like I said, not much. Usually it's funny because obviously it's Monday, so you do kind of expect to put out fires to some extent. And so, there's a sort of oh, it's Monday, Sunday evenings, by the way. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, and I guess not that this has to be a question of the day, but maybe we can, sort of make this a question of the day. Sunday evenings, they're really nice because they are so relaxed. Like Sunday evenings, I think are the most relaxing time of the week for me, right? And so it's interesting because I don't necessarily know that I love in other words, like I wouldn't trade Sunday evenings, but at the same time I don't know that I would necessarily call them like the best, right? And I don't know if it's because of the fact that I'm thinking about Monday morning, right? So it's interesting. There's sort of like a relaxation, but that is not it's only sort of a temporary relaxation. And so I'm wondering if that's sort of in other words, like, because one of the things is like, do you relax or do you not relax, right? And I feel like I relax. It's interesting because you just sort of like, are you aware if you relaxed or not, right? And that's an interest, I don't know, but Sundays, right? I can't say that I'm necessarily relaxed, so that's kind of interesting. Anyway, but all of that to say, I go into Monday expecting somewhat of a fire, right? I go into Monday expecting fire to be started for me, and it's like today was not, I didn't have to put out fires. I suppose that's my job, right? I put out fires rather than whatever, right? They're always, they're there, right? Monday morning, they'll be there in my inbox. But it was okay. It was not bad, and so that was good, right? But I was really gonna talk about how, I don't know if you remember it yesterday, but I was on my way to dinner, right? So Sunday evening was actually an interesting day because I yeah, I was going to dinner, right, with a relative. And so how did that go? That went well. It was good, but it was also like I said, I'm telling you, this is the diaries of an awkward awkward middle-aged man. I was gonna say, like, I feel like awkward is a phrase that gets associated with being a teenager. I'm obviously not a teenager, right? Yeah. Um, but it's interesting, and so yeah. Can I finish? No, but it was good. I mean, the person was nice. It was just the two of us, and so that always makes it awkward, right? So one of the questions, the first official question of the day was like, what's your ideal crowd, right? So they there's that saying of like three is a crowd, right? And so it's sort of like two, the pairing of two. It's like, oh, relationship, is, you think of a relationship as two people. Like, in other words, a relationship by definition is a sort of, I don't even know what the definition of a relationship is, but it's defined to be how you feel about someone else, right? Not necessarily how you feel about maybe like a couple, right? So like, how do I fit into this like romantic couple? I don't know, but yeah, but anyway, but the point is that like there was always, growing up for me at least, there was always an awkwardness that went with being with someone else, right? Like, just like in other words, like if someone's like, oh, let's go get dinner, let's go to like let's go to the movies, let's do something like that, right? And it's just like two people. There's that what happened. You guys can probably predict, anticipate what happens, right? There's the obligation to carry a conversation, right? I'm serious. Like this is the Diaries of an Awkward Middle-Aged Man, but because it's sort of like you feel compelled to talk in a way that you don't necessarily want to necessarily share like everything, right? So I don't know. It's really interesting. I'm trying to, for me, like I said, part of this, 511 Thoughts, trying to reflect on everything, and you think about your life, right? And you think about these moments, right? Like I said, like there were times where I was at the dinner last night, and I could sort of feel that she was almost speaking a different language, right? And it's interesting because I'm trying to just speak English, and it's like, well, you're speaking plain English, and they're speaking like French English, and it's like German English, or is there Germanized English, or I don't know. Train wreck English. I don't know. There's many different forms of English. I don't know. But my point is that it's interesting how like there's a sort of purported, you got to throw on the oregano and the salt. I've already used that sort of example, right? Oregano. You pour on the oregano. You want to be agreeable, but you don't want to be agreeable. And I'm telling you, like I don't want to. I feel like this is what I bitch about, but I suppose this is kind of the. It's interesting because, most of my conversations these days, right, are in the form of podcasts. And to whatever extent podcasts are scripted or not, there is a professionalism that they exude, right? There's a sort of formality, but it's a formality in rehearsal and in polished, right? So it's a varnished conversation. And I'm wondering, like, I don't know, I would love to know, how I don't know how spontaneous podcasts are, first of all, but I would also love to know sort of like, what would a podcaster be like if I took them to dinner, right? Would they be the best type of person for me to take to sort of dinner? Because I presumably would want to, either listen to them just talk, right? That'd be great. Like, me listening while, I eat, they can chat, right? Chat or whatever. And I can ask some questions, but I want to, I'd like to get, sort of, have some depth to the conversation possibly. But at the same time, I do believe there's sort of the ice, right? I think we touched on that. And I felt needless to say, I felt last night that there was some ice. And so my interaction with the ice was very, very timid, right? It was like one of those things. But yeah, so that was that. And it's just interesting. I guess question of the day, like, so, the thing with three people is that I voluntarily become the third wheel because, it's like, I don't want to, I don't know. And like I said, I don't know if it's sort of, I don't want to talk, but is it reluctance to share? Or is it, sort of just, I prefer to be the one receiving information. And I think that, honestly, like, I think that that's the key point, right? Like, it's sort of like, it's sort of like I'm in this environment, I'm sort of getting information, getting, entertainment, getting, what have you, getting company, right? What am I giving, right? Well, I'm giving my body, in the form of my presence, but other than that, like, what am I sort of giving? And there is sort of this, I can, in other words, like, fairness would mean that you would have to have, it has to be a two-way street. And it's sort of like, well, there's just this, like, this ice, and it's like, I don't have my flame, what am I supposed to do? Like the Human Torch or whatever. So I don't know, but that is interesting. That was what I was kind of thinking, like, you prefer a group because if you're in like a group of like 6 people or whatever, the burden on you to actually contribute, diminishes so much, right? And so it's interesting, but at the same time, right, you obviously, it's at the expense of ever sort of making a sort of meaningful, what we call relationship with another person, right? I want to make a relationship with like 3 people or like, 4 people, right? I don't know. Anyway, that took us to our time, so I'm gonna probably quit. I was gonna do some other sharing because it was kind of like a chill Monday, so I was like, oh, let's sort of share my chill music. Remind me to do that on Side A, right? Yeah, Side A tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.